This week on PTL, it's London Calling. We break down the quarterfinal matchups, listen in with a brand new mic check, and count down the biggest plays with the Penta. Cheers! Primetime League starts right now.
That's a triple. That's going to be the quadra. He gets a pentakill, and now pentakill. SK Telecom T1 win in under 24 minutes. They make it look easy.
Fnatic have done it!
There are no respawns, and Fnatic take the first seed out of the group.
Hello everyone and welcome to a special edition of Primetime League. We're here in London. I'm Rivington Bisson III and happy to be joined by David Freak Turley, Christopher Monte Cristo Michaels, and Mitch Kreppel Vorspools. Gentlemen, welcome to London.
Hey, nice pun.
Yes. Nobody's gonna get that, you know. But it's all right. Freak makes puns all the time. We know what's going on. The group stages have finally finished. The first week showed us a lot of surprises. The second week, everything kind of filed out as we expected. We got to stick together, and they asked us to stick together now since we're out of Worlds. So
okay.
I'm glad to have you here today. Europe, Korea have made it on, but the LMS as well showing up very big at the end of the group stages. And now we're on to the quarterfinals. Looking at the matches we have this week: Origin versus Flash Wolves, SKT versus AHQ. That's AHQ Esports Club, Edward Gaming versus Fnatic, and the LCK playoff rematch of KT Rolster versus the KU Tigers. And a lot of people are saying this is one of the best quarterfinals we've ever had coming out of groups. It shows that the finals is going to be huge this year with whatever teams go. Let's start with the first matchup. Origin versus the Flash Wolves. Both teams showed, I guess say one team showed well in the first week. Flash Wolves showing very well in the second set of group stage.
I don't know what to think about the Flash Wolves really, Riv, because they play to the level of their opponents, and when we see them playing KU, getting that 2-0, they look strong. We saw Maple's incredibly dominant performance on LeBlanc that was quite impressive, and living up to the expectations that people had of him as the best laner in the LMS coming out into Worlds. But at the same time, this is a team that lost to Pain Gaming, and even when they beat Pain, didn't look all that clean. So I really wonder what this team's ceiling is, because I haven't really seen it yet.
Yeah, coming into this week, we were expecting Origin to finish first and potentially Flash Wolves second, so you could have seen these quarterfinals in a completely different light. But Origin, they went in fantastic week one, but then they kind of started dropping the ball a little bit. Even in the games they won against TSM, I feel their early to mid game, especially before the 15-minute mark, is still a little shaky, and then they get back into it with some vision. So Flash Wolves, they have a shot at breaking this matchup open depending on what level they bring, and if they finally start playing like their own style higher than their opponents, just like Monty says, instead of just adapting to whatever is happening in the game. So it could actually swing both ways.
I think it's actually a really interesting matchup just based on sort of the roles that every player plays in their team. Like, for example, NL is the literal damage per minute leader of the entire World Championship, the AD carry here on Flash Wolves. Then Maple, the mid laner, is number 2. So they somehow have the number 1 and 2 players in damage per minute on the same team, which is ridiculous, first of all. So those are the big star players. Meanwhile, of course, Stake, the top laner, has overperformed. We kind of came into Worlds thinking he'd be kind of weak. And on paper, you think, oh, he should be really weak into SOAS. And that's the thing is these styles are very different between these two teams now, because Origin's gonna play very split push focus, and SOAS, even though he's got a really bad KDA, he was in a group with Someday, so his deaths are a bit inflated, and I think he's still gonna have a really good time against Stake, and that's a really big pressure point for Origin.
Origin in the best of 5, though, should be flexible enough in terms of champion pools that they can start targeting these strong points within the series from the Flash Wolves. They did it against Fnatic in this finals over Europe. I see Monty going like,
well, look at this. Look at the stats previously. SOAS got nearly half of his kills out of one game.
Yeah, and he got nearly half his
deaths.
deaths.
I'm sorry, deaths. I meant to say deaths.
Half his
He
deaths
was
out of
killed.
one game.
Yeah.
But that's what I was saying about SOAS coming into this, is yes, he's had strong performances, but sometimes he just overextends repeatedly, dies. He's got to stop doing that. Yeah. As for the other matchups, sure, Origin came out strong, but I feel in the second week of play, even though XPEC is doing much better than he did for most of the season in Europe, I wonder about this teleport Orianna. Where exactly is he going with this? It didn't really seem to work out in the second part of the group stage. He's got to show more champions. And I don't know in the boot camp how much time he's had to prepare a whole host of champions compared to a player like Maple.
They've taken advantage of that multiple times. He teleports back to the lane, he's instantly killed. He's got a long journey back to the lane, and that's when we've really seen Origin start to falter.
Yeah, it's a matchup I really want to see XPEC be able to withstand. Like, that's the one hard matchup for Origin, because otherwise you're up against, some of the best laners in Europe. The bot lane duo, right? are actually incredibly strong. And if NL is like this big carry and someone that Flash Wolves really, really need, well, suddenly Origin can handle that, actually. I feel like they're actually going to be able to do that really nicely. Mithy's an amazing Thresh. So you have the Thresh contest between him and Sora. You've also got the Varus contest between NL and Xpeke over in the mid lane. So like even champion select is really interesting. And to me, it's such a fascinating matchup because there's so many different facets you have to care about in pick and ban as well as the game itself.
And I think we can expect these games to go long, too.
Yeah.
Both of these teams have average game times of about 40-plus minutes.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a long, bitter battle more than likely. And if Flash Wolves, I think their strength is getting these assassins for Maple, trying to getting him rolling, playing more pick compositions. But we look at maybe some poke compositions for the Flash Wolves, too. And Origin, it's about how well they can use teleport. Because when they were beating teams like KT, it was about playing the map super well. And I think they can outplay Flash Wolves in the macro game. Origin in the macro
Well, later
game.
on in the show, we're definitely going to find out which team you have chose, Origin or Flash Wolves, when we do the pick 'em. So before we head into the next games, we're going to drop a wiretap on the players. You know what it is. It's time for mic check.
That's the good life. I got everything I need.
Coffee and headphones?
Coffee and loud ass teammates.
뭐라는 거야?
테이크업 에너지.
에너지 준다고.
Are we
We wanna
I'm
fight?
just gonna out this. I'm just gonna out this.
Yeah, just try to hold them. Nice.
后面后面。啊！啊！吐我，这边。
不用要3秒才能吐的。
给我！我按！
狗牌现在。
AD no flash。OK， 看麦的。Nice。AD。Nice。Mute。Note。吸。衣服。
No flash。
我送你小心点。看 ，one more kill。Nice。他们看起。
多巴龙。
米不行。这个英雄有点好玩吧？
우리 팀 잘한다. 우리 팀 잘한다.
겐치!
징그스.
줄 뻔했어. 안 돼! 야, 싸워. 그냥 죽여. 죽었다. 누구나 벌써 누구라.
죽었냐? 죽었어!
야, 너.
제발!
I'm on listen.
Wait, listen. Yasuo. Okay, nice. Yeah, there are only two. Pentakill.
아이고.
Penta. Go, Cannon.
I'm coming.
Nice, go Penta, please. Flash. Attack him.
So close. If I max Q second, I have that one.
Good
Can we
job.
take the tower or?
Yeah, can I stop it?
I'm got TP.
There's some creeps.
Back up.
She flash. She's gonna die. Nice.
I peek for you.
I'm moving. Fight slowly. Don't
They're really low.
Nice! Holy shit!
Nice. Go Drake. Focus on Drake.
慢慢打就好，维克勒死了。double F 死，不会死哦，下面哦。
下面AD 上 AD。
结束。Nice.
I move now.
My home guard.
How are you?
I'm moving.
Shen is dead. Oh, I'm dead. Holy shit.
Cannon.
Cannon is dead.
Care.
I will heal you after this.
Back. If you
Set.
can. He has ult.
I'm really low.
Oh, do you kill this?
I'll kill everyone.
Z. Don't die.
Nice.
Listen.
10 seconds, Cannon. We got it.
So we're definitely going to be looking to get a lot more nice as we move on to the quarterfinals, and I'm sure we'll get it out of these groups. But to to move on to our next game, SKT versus AHQ. I'm sure a lot of people have the same pick and bracket on this one, but I definitely want to look at some of the matchups. Can Faker break down the door? What's going to happen on the rest of the map? How's it going to go?
I think at this point it's not a matter if SKT is going to win, it's more about how hard. My prediction is around 8 p.m. local London time, we'll declare the time of death for the
So when the flatline's coming in?
Flatline's coming in, but we have to give massive props that they actually got this far, because coming into the tournament, like not many people expected maybe one LMS team, let alone two, to make it out there.
Especially after the first group.
But then, if you get that group down, then, for HQ, it's SKT, and then, lights go out.
Yeah, obviously the hardest first-round matchup, AHQ could have pulled SKT. Everyone kind of knows who the clear favorites here of the tournament itself. We'll see if upsets happen. You got to give props where props are due, though. AHQ, I think, played very well, especially their AD carry On, who is the kill leader of Worlds right here. Very impressive. Okay, he got to play an extra game. I understand there's some bias here, but the fact that teams kept giving him his jinx is a problem for teams against him. I assume SKT won't make that mistake, but if you let him play the late game AD carry and it gets to that 3-item phase, then he starts really taking over games, and it's impressive to see.
You asked about Faker and Westor. My question is, will we even see Faker? Because there's a possibility that SK Telecom might just start off the best of 5 with EasyHoon, see how far he can take them, and try and hide Faker further into the tournament. Now,
it's something we've seen before.
Yeah, it's something we've seen before, and it could be they just want to keep their cards close to their vest, see what they can do there. But EasyHoon should still have an easy time against Westor. Westor, if he has to face Faker, the blind picking the Twisted Fate, the blind picking the Fizz, you cannot do that against a guy who knows these matchups. You want to play blind pick TF, he will Riven you and you will die. And he's not going to get away with losing the lane in terms of CS. He's going to lose the lane in CS, and he's going to get solo killed if he tries these shenanigans.
Just one thing that does help a little bit, and it depends, I guess, on how the teams choose to do things, but it feels like teams favor blue side. SKT, the higher seed, probably picks blue. So whether HQ picks their sides or not, more likely than not, he'll get to last pick for that mid lane position. That leaves Marin counter pick, which of course is difficult as well, but at least like someone gets to be the last pick guy, either Ziv or Westor, and try to survive the matchup.
They will get the last pick, but if they end up on purple side, AHQ Esports, that is, then they have to ban out these Gangplank, these Mordekais, these global bans. That leaves SKT the opportunity to just target ban these specific picks, so On will no longer get his Jinx. Albus may not get the Tahm Kench again, and those were very pivotal champions to prolong these games to the point where On could start carrying, and then later on, SKT has done their research, and they can just start counter these playstyles, even if it is. That's under the assumption that it'll be close.
Of course.
Not only that, we can talk about On, but let's talk about that matchup. Bang has a 71 KDA right now.
He's pretty good.
Sorry.
I mean, he's okay. He's no double it.
It spells bloody between the two AD carries for sure.
Yeah.
This game is going to be messy.
And the thing is, as well, like honestly, as much as we talk about Faker and EasyHoon, I actually think this tournament is not about the mid lane for SKT. When you look at the rest of the players, you mentioned the Bang 70 plus KDA. I mean, he's crushing it. SKT is a team, of course, number 1 KDA. They're the favorites again. But Marin is the number 1 player in the tournament at CSD at 20. He's the number 1 top laner. For CSD at 10. He's the number 2 player overall, number 1 player overall for gold per minute, and the number 2 player overall, for damage per minute. Like, Marin is crushing it right now, and he's actually like the really big all-star to me of the team as far as his tournament's concerned.
And a lot of those times, that was him in the top lane, not a lot of help from the jungle as well.
Right.
Yeah, it does seem though that overall the playstyle that wins the most type of games is having very much power invested in the top lane triangle and leaving bot lane to just play the passive farm to get relevant for fights. SKT have shown mastery of that style as well, especially with how well Bang has been playing in this tournament. He has just been the perfect supplement to each and every one of his lanes. Like Bang and Wolf didn't even require that much health because they're that good at just playing neutral or ahead. And then Bengi, he's been supplementing Marin and Faker just wherever needed.
Well, even SK Telecom's playstyle, playing around the top lane early on, getting champions like Darius up there in the top, or Renekton, these champions that can do a lot of damage, that have a lot of kill pressure in the top side. Meanwhile, Faker's just sitting in the mid lane, chilling on Azir, chilling on Ryze. These are champions that will scale into the late game. So they have this really nice power curve in terms of their team compositions. But the games have been so short that Marin's been the one shining. Somebody takes it late, though, that's where the Ryze kicks in, right?
Well, there's definitely no doubt in this game, SKT versus AHQ Esports Club. AHQ has their work cut out for them.
Hey guys, we're going to see how SKT and AHQ do in their match in a little bit, but first we want to talk about Twitter. Last week's Twitter question was, what's going to be the next unique champion played at the World Championship? And for bonus points, who's going to play it? Now, the unique champion was actually Leona Support. 3 of you got it right, so congrats to you guys. At Wesley Way, at Valiant Serpent, and at Lol Stregor all said Leona, so props to that one. But to get into the Hall of Fame, you had to tell us who was going to play that champion. And sadly, even though Coup Tigers played on the very first day, no one thought that it was going to be Gorilla picking that champion out. That's the Coup Tiger support, so sadly, no MVPs. It's okay, though. Moving on, I want to talk about the fact that brought us to 69 unique champions played at the World Championship throughout that week. 24 unique mid laners at Worlds so far. And I want to talk about some more stats as well, because talking about kill leaders, let's do that one. KT Rolster has a tie for first place. Their AD carry Arrow, their top laner Someday, 37 kills in the regularly scheduled games. If you go into the tiebreakers, then you get a 7th game, and then you have AHQ's AD carry On tops them at 38. Of course, you can't have kills without deaths, so Death Leader, bit of a sad trombone. G4, the mid laner for the Bangkok Titans, 31 deaths. I mean, he did blind pick Aurelia into Faker, so you can kind of see why he's the record holder there. Unfortunately, no more deaths for him. He's out of the tournament. Talk about damage. Damage is always fun as well. The Flash Wolves AD carry NL holds the damage per minute record at 833.9, which is stupidly high. That guy's crushing faces, so props to him for that record. And talk about other stupidly high records. How about KDA? SK Telecom's AD carry Bang has a 71. That is ridiculous. That is absolutely incredible. And speaking of incredible records like that, that brings us to this week's Twitter question, which is, who is going to have the highest KDA in the quarterfinals? I'm going to say Bang. I think it's an easy one to pick out there. But for bonus points and for the spot in the Hall of Fame, tell us what his KDA is going to be. I'm going to guess 32. Bang's going to have a 32 KDA in his quarterfinal against AHQ. If I'm right, I'm in the Hall of Fame. If you're right, you'll be in the Hall of Fame. If you want to respond to this one, of course, tweet at LOL Esports. Use the hashtag PTL. We'll see if you make it.
So whether you decide to fall in line with Freak or not, he never usually wins. Best of luck on your prediction. We do have to move on to the next game, EDG versus Fnatic. You know I still love you. Looking at this game coming out of the group stages, or at least EDG, they faltered a lot, and it was kind of hard to see why. That's the flip side for Fnatic. Very notable points of why they were having bad play and why their games weren't going the right way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Fnatic was very clearly overconfident in their first week group stage games. I believe Huni himself said it in an interview. It's like, yeah, we kind of screwed that one up a little bit here. And I mean,
that could have been more of an eye flashing into two people.
He was clearly way overconfident. So that got fixed by the second week. Fnatic looked like the Fnatic that we know from the European LCS in the second week. They looked dominant, looked like the team I had to top the group. It looked like the real Fnatic, and they even got first seed as a result of it. A close game against AHQ, okay, but like, by and large, like, that's the Fnatic that I know, and everyone's playing on full cylinders. Reignover crushes the early game, and Huni gets the results of it.
I want to agree with you. I had Fnatic in first place too, but for me, this particular best of 5 is who steps up from those previous performances, because when Fnatic, it comes in with a strategy they have prepared. Running 2 big carries in the top and mid lane with that AD Kennen, they look really crisp. Kennen goes away, all of a sudden things get a lot harder against AHQ. EDG, seen him play pretty poorly in the early game. Yeah. They do not understand how to play around Amazing J and top lane carries in this meta. So it's whoever fixes their problems first, but I am very concerned about Fnatic's longevity in a best of 5, where they can't just use a very refined strategy that they have. It will just be banned out instantly, and then they have to fall back on something that maybe is a little less practiced.
The best of series is where Fnatic found themselves getting the first losses in the regular season this year.
Yeah, the biggest problem I have with the way Fnatic went down in week 1 is just that these are all problems that we've seen before, and we can go back all the way to the end of spring split, at start of summer, to an extent where Huni was playing either too overconfident or nothing was happening with Fnatic until they got that magic teleport. But as teams are getting better dealing with those teleports, those openings won't be as pronounced anymore. Then at the other side though, EDG coming to the tournament, everyone's like, Klilov, best jungler, second best jungler in the tournament. He will completely dumpster Reignover. Right now it seems Reignover is actually playing a lot better, especially in terms of understanding where he needs to be on the map. Yeah. Huni got solved as a problem because of Reignover's pressure. Klilov, he's lost. Like, he went bot level 2 as a Gragas. Like, ganking bot lane is already a mistake. Ganking that specific bot lane was a mistake. And not protecting your top laner against this set of combinations that SKT had in that game, I think it was Darius Elise, is just straight up dumb.
Well, we have to look at the meta too, because when we talk about these two junglers, Reignover loves camping for Huni. Happens that works out really well right now. Clear Love loves camping bot lane. And it's not so awesome at the moment when it comes to strategy, right?
Depends on the teams.
It depends.
Because you have the LMS teams who the AD carries are carrying them, so there is some of that.
Ziv is doing pretty damn well himself.
Well, of course he is.
But I don't even think that that's going to do them a lot of favors moving forward in the tournament. I'm just saying right now, I think the tendencies of these two junglers, Reignover just has a natural advantage.
Yep. And I absolutely agree. Synergy-wise as well, right, is going to be there. And just to sort of reiterate the Fnatic effort point here over confidence, they're up against Edward Gaming. Okay, they look kind of bad in the loss to SKT, but this is EDG. These guys are crazy talented. They got former world champions. I think Fnatic will show up to play.
Final point.
After watching the later matches that Fnatic played, though, I think it was against the HQ, they had complete deep vision control, but then Reckless still ended up dying a couple of times. And that is one thing that worries me. Fnatic was playing with more information than the average team in Worlds had, and they were still giving up kills. And EDG, they don't hesitate to go for those kills. So they make these like crazy plays that don't really work on paper. Sometimes that can catch Fnatic off guard.
You heard Big Ben. Timer's up on this one. It's going to be an amazing match. We got Febivin versus Pawn in the mid lane, Reckless versus Deft. Definitely going to be a match to watch. So, before we move on to the last matchup, we are going to do a quick lightning round of studs and duds. However, no duds this time. I just want your studs. Freak, we will start with you. Who's going to kind of be that standout player coming out of the quarterfinals?
Well, I'm going to give you 2 for 1, Riv, because I'm going to give you the duds as well. It's the 40-some-odd players who didn't make the quarterfinals. Duds, all of you. But honestly, thanks. But as far as the stud is concerned, to me, it's the true MVP of the group stage. It's the reason his team even made the quarterfinals. That's AHQ's AD carry On. He is the kill leader of the entire World Championship right now. The team would not be this far without him. His Jinx is absolutely amazing. Beat C9, beat Invictus, beat Fnatic not once, but almost twice, if only his team played a bit better. That's the guy who is the reason his team went so far. I think it's very obvious it's him.
All right, Monty.
Well, if I have to take studs, then I'm going to have to take the Hecarim player, Cacao, just based on definition, but beyond that, Gorilla is going to come in as my stud. Again, similar reasons to Freak. I feel that he's really the reason why KOO did as well as they did in the group stage. He's a support player that has played 6 different supports in 6 games so far.
Unique across the board.
Yeah, unique across the board. His Tahm Kench game, his first ever Tahm Kench game, was magnificent against CLG, using the Tahm Kench with the Jinx so well. I think it's the best Tahm Kench play we've seen, and there's only going to be more from this guy moving forward. He also was the main player to set up a lot of their plays, the key to their pick compositions, and when KOO fell down, it was because his teammates were failing to follow up on his engages or engage themselves, but his individual play has been outstanding.
Definitely another reason to bench the Kench. Crepo,
I'm just going to follow Freak here in his reasoning. I think without my MVP, the team would have done a lot worse too, mostly because it's really hard to win a game 4 against 5. But no, I just want to say Bengi. Coming into the tournament, Clearlove and Cacao got so much praise for being the best junglers in the tournament, and everybody was kind of underrating Bengi for whatever reason it was, but he really stepped up, mostly supplementing his laners with just the help they required. He's always at the right place at the right time, which doesn't make for very flashy plays, but if you actually track his map movement, it's just interesting to see how efficient he paths. He knows where he has to be a minute ahead of time, and everybody plays around him very well. So in that regard, I just want to congratulate Bengi on his performance.
All right, so you got a few studs to keep your eyes on from these gentlemen. See what happens. So now that we got everyone's studs out of the way with all the Freak studs that still aren't at Worlds, we have to look at the last game. Pretty much, I would call the stud of games. KT versus KOO, the rematch of the LCK playoff game, and it should be absolutely amazing. Monty, I know you've been talking about it all week or all few days since you've seen the matchup.
I'm so excited about this. It was a 5-game series in the Korean playoffs. It really did deliver it. It could have gone either way all the way up into that blind pick match. So I think we're going to see great things out of this one. Nagne stepping up his performance towards the end of the second week. We've seen Kuro do very, very well so far this tournament, which was a bit of a surprise. So this one should be fireworks, I think.
And I'm actually especially excited for the top lane matchup here, because even though I was expecting all these top lane carries and it's boiled down to mostly just Darius versus Gnar, we see enough branching out from these guys that it makes it really exciting. Someday is incredible. He's my top lane superhero. And Smeb's played really good too, actually. He stepped up quite nicely. He was one of the best top laners we saw in that group. And it was full of actually some pretty good top laners. So that's a matchup that really excites me. I want to see what they play. I want to see some more Fiora. I want to see something new. Like, I like that we saw like, a little bit of Renekton come out to make things crazy. And so just seeing what else they branch out with now, the counter each other is going to be really fun.
Fun fact is that both Smeb and Someday both had Riven pentakills this season out of the top lane. So we've got a couple really good Riven players going head to head.
Too bad we don't get that blind pick.
I just think both these teams will be very interesting to watch in the best of 5, mostly due to their drafting. They seem to be having very good drafts this tournament around. And going back to that series that was very close there, that they played in playoffs, I think these teams improved on their weaknesses and kept their strengths. Usually when you see teams adapt, they kind of lose something here and gain something here, but looking at both Kuro and Nagne, I think they play significantly better than people expected, so that adds another layer of like versatility and just explosiveness to this matchup, so overall, going to be interesting.
Nagne has definitely been stepping up. Looking at that bot lane, Peekaboo versus Gorilla. This is going to be awesome to watch.
I'm actually really excited because this is the second year in a row, and I know there's been other Tahm Kench players, but Gorilla again brought a new support to Worlds. Last year it was Janna, and you didn't think Janna was good, and I believed in Gorilla. Hey, we can pull up the quote. Neither of you guys believed that Janna was any good.
Next tape, please.
Please don't put that there.
And Tahm Kench is another one, and he's not the only guy, but I love that he brings something every Worlds. Gorilla is really exciting for me, and Peekaboo has of course been wonderful as well.
Also, the Veigar, I've seen him play in solo queue. And remember, Gorilla is the guy that got Veigar nerfed in the first place. So we know he's an amazing Veigar player. I want to see him play it on support again.
I just love seeing them face off in a meta where it's not PL supports, because if this was last Worlds, it's like, yeah, Peekaboo against Gorilla. We'll maybe see them disengage each other very aggressively. But now you have these things like the Thresh comes out, the Tahm Kench comes out, you have these plays to be made, Veigar can come out, so hopefully we'll see finally see some kills in the bot lane, because it's been pretty stale overall.
So looking at this game by everyone, the last playoffs to this playoffs, is this going to be another best of 5, or does a team have a chance to just take it right away, 3-0?
I don't think 3-0. I think that would be very far-fetched. Ku will have something different. They are a very creative team. They're very good at creating these new strategies. They've invented so many meta picks, so many meta compositions this year. I'm sure they'll have a trick up their sleeve. They'll at least get one, but I think it'll go to all 5.
All right, Ben's telling us to stop again, guys. Final matchup on that. It's going to be amazing to watch, the rematch of the LCK playoffs. So it's that part of the show where we turn on the death timers, and we're going to see this week who the most overhyped player for you guys is. Freak, I want to start with you. Try not to feed.
I'll do my best. All right, here we go. With the timer, I'm going to start with some statistics. You tell me who you think it is. Of the 42 quarterfinalists, he is 37th in kill participation. He's actually 11th worst in the entire tournament if you count people who were eliminated already. He is the only mid laner in the tourney to be outfarmed in CS per minute by his top laner and AD carry both. He has the most deaths per game on the team and the worst KDA on the team. This is the best player in the world, Faker. Faker is not playing to the expected level of this player at the World Championship. He's dying, he's not doing very well. And the thing is, SKT, when they win, is actually not even that much about Faker anyway. Back in the Season 3 World Championship, Piglet beat him in kills, beat him in KDA, beat him in pretty much every match you can think of. Pretty much the same thing for Marin, actually, or Impact way back when there as well. At the Mid-Season Invitational, where they lost, then Faker was the highest KDA and the least deaths per game because the team needs to step up for SKT.
No, you have to look at it as an insurance policy. They put him on Rise. He's supposed to scale. What is he supposed to do when they win all their games in under 30 minutes?
Not get caught at the start of a team
he's
fight.
He's going to play and kick ass next
Monty,
time.
you get to go next.
I'd love to see that.
Freak, I'm just going to make a mark here. Protective custody. That comment. All right, Monty, you're up next. Death timer, 45 seconds. Hit it.
All right, for me, it was Godby. Coming in here, he was supposed to be one of the best mid laners of this tournament. We wanted him to play aggressive. This guy pretty much brought mid lane teleport back into the meta. LGD didn't show up. His teleports were garbage for the most part, and we saw him going back to comfort picks. I don't think Varus in the mid lane is good right now. I think it takes too long to scale, and it's not going to be working, I think, at a very high level. Yet he comes in with that. His Diana at first, really lackluster. Plays Anivia. I mean, come on. I want to see him going in. When he gets to the second week, starts playing LeBlanc, starts playing Diana, starts playing the style of aggressive mid lane that we know him for, that's when he gets back. But this guy looked way off the mark from what we've seen previously.
All right. Anything to say to your fans? You beat the timer.
No, just kidding. Time's
Faker's
out.
great.
Too late. Too late. Doesn't count. You're disqualified.
So, 2 mid laners already. Crepo, are you sticking in the mid lane? Who's your most overhyped here?
Let me just paint you the picture. You're in a meta game where barely 1 or 2 solo kills happen 2v2. You have top lane carries everywhere, and junglers have to impact the entirety of the map. You pick Gragas. after you give a top lane counter pick Gnar into Darius matchup and you decide to kill bot level 2. You walk bot, you get spotted, you do nothing. Meanwhile, your top laner dies in a counter pick matchup, the jungler dives him and suddenly you lose the entire game.
This is beautiful. I'm looking at a Rembrandt right now. Who is it?
Kirillov did that.
Okay.
Arguably the best jungler in the world coming to this tournament. I don't get it. I don't know why. Watching it again, 2 times, 3 times, I still don't understand that decision. You lose an entire game by just keep farming. Just walk to the top lane. Kill the enemy, and the game's winnable.
But Clearlove actually has the highest kill participation for a jungler.
Can't say anymore.
Crep, you finished early.
No one on that team is doing
Why didn't you take Crepo's time? No. Okay, we're gonna draft from you, Crepo. You got 3 seconds to say what you want.
Huh? You're wrong.
Hashtag freak win? Okay.
There it is. There it is.
Can you say hashtag freak win for me?
No.
Okay.
Oh man, so across the board, we got Faker, Godv, and Clearlove. Gentlemen, we'll have to see if they can really live up to the hype. Whoever you think had the best overhyped player, you can vote for them on Twitter, at LOL Esports. Make sure to use the hashtag FreakWin if you think Freak was right. Hashtag MontyWin if you want to go with Monty, or hashtag CrepoWin if you want to go with Crepo. If you want to stay neutral like me, hashtag RivWin. All right, gentlemen, as the show begins to come to a close, we cannot forget one important thing, and that's pick'ems. Most of us have already kind of tossed them out the window, as we are not one of the some 50 people that still are able to get this right. God bless them, and good luck as it keeps moving on, because there's a lot of possibilities. But it's almost become easier to figure out with who we now have in the quarterfinals, who's going to move on to the semis. I will start myself. I believe OG will take down the Flash Wolves. They will move on, and they will be facing SKT as they take down AHQ. On the bottom half of the bracket, I feel like Fnatic will be able to take down Edward Gaming, even though both teams have had some follies, and Fnatic will be facing off against KT Rolster after they take down KU. Moving on from that, I do have my finals becoming SKT versus Fnatic, which I think actually a lot of people are going to have. Freak, what are you looking at?
NA, stick together. Pride on that one. Exactly the same roster. Origin for Flash Wolves. I think it really depends on if Soaz can tilt and or if Maple can crush Xpeke, but that's the 2 big bets to watch for me. SKT or AHQ, I think this is like 95-1 odds right there. Like, this is very hard for AHQ, so maybe they can live up to their inner TPA and do it anyway. Fnatic over EDG is also very close. Depends if EDG shows up. The EDG from the group stage where they got trounced by SKT, or the one where they won MSI. It just depends which Edward Gaming shows up, if they can figure out to go to the top lane. And finally, KT Rolster over KU. It was very close last time in the Korean playoffs. Went to 5 games. Maybe it'll go to 5 here, but it feels like KT Rolster are playing really strongly. Advancing from there, SKT over Origin, I think pretty strongly. They'll drop at most 1 game. Fnatic over KT, I think will happen. I just believe in Fnatic actually showing up very strongly, but ultimately, SKT probably wins the whole thing. Sad for Europe.
All right, Monty.
So for me, I think we're going to agree on all of these quarterfinal matchups. I think it's going to be Origin, could be a close game against Flash Wolves, but considering they play the map better, I think that they're going to take that win. SK Telecom, nothing more needs to be said. We have the Fnatic Edward Gaming. I don't think EDG can fix their top lane jungle synergy problems and their lane swap problems in a week, so Fnatic should take a close one. They may get outplayed on an individual basis in a game or 2, but they should win the series. And then finally wrapping it up, again, KT over KU, repeating that last best of 5 performance, though it could be another close one. Now here is where we're going to disagree, all right?
All right.
AHQ over SKT.
SKT over Origin. Pretty smooth sailing into the finals for SKT. KT over Fnatic. I really like the Someday Huni matchup. Sunday's been so stable. Huni's been a bit wishy-washy in that top lane. I think they've got what it takes to make the first ever All-Korean World Championship final. It is the destiny of this tournament to get there again.
We will see. Crepo, finish us off.
To save some time here on the quarterfinals, I'm just going to quote Sneaky and say same. I definitely agree with all of you guys.
Perfect.
But for me, thank you very much. I think Fnatic's going straight to finals. They will actually become the 2nd team in history to beat the Koreans in a best of 5 overall. And if Monty disagrees, to ease his pain, when Fnatic does get to the final, I'll just buy you a cheeky Nando's.
All right. And of course, spoken from the man himself, the one guy who has ever beat a Korean team in a best of 5.
I actually had to ask Monty right before this segment. I was like, has anybody ever beaten these guys?
I was like, yeah, you did. You beat them.
Okay.
Najin Blacksword champions back all the way in 2012 in the semifinal to make the final.
Yeah. And then we won that best of 3 in the final. Yeah.
That's what I remember.
I watched that live.
So you've heard our picks picks, head over to pick'em.lolesports.com to lock in your picks. Whether pick with us, pick against us, good luck on how you do, because a lot of us did not get anything in the group stages right. Now, moving on, the games will be starting Thursday and Friday at the same time. That's 9 a.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Central European Summertime. Do not miss them. I know a lot of you have already been watching because you're sending in your hashtag, the Pentas, to @LOLesports. Keep doing so because there's only more big plays to come. All right, gentlemen, I want to thank everybody for joining me here on this breezy balcony in beautiful London. All your cheeky picks and what you have said is just enlightening the viewers around the world, and hopefully all of you are correct in your picks. I can't believe
we can't all be correct.
Faker. You're so crazy.
We can't all be correct, by the way. We have all different predictions here.
It can happen, but the chances are very, very low.
No, it's literally 0.
Okay. Nice fun.
Thanks.
Looking at this, guys, I believe we do owe it to our viewers, however, to leave them with the right proper Penta!
Charging in at number 5 is LGD's Flame with the triple kill.
Mithy here. Godby may go for that valiant kill before he goes down. They are able to slice him out. This is going to be a kill. Double kill for Flame. If he can keep getting that on Amazing, it's going to be a triple. But here comes the command protect. Shockwave actually pulls him perfectly away, but he gets hit by the undertow. Amazing doesn't get the dodge in, and Flame going huge.
Flashing in at number 4, AHQ's On shows what happens when an unstoppable force meets a movable object.
Westor's made it in range thanks to the Destiny and the Gate, and Sneaky eats a Javelin from Mountain. The Engage is flashed away, On stays alive, and Albus throws on the Maelstrom.
You can't expect a flash Malphite ulti to take that guy down right now. Beautiful flash. That's a game-winning flash right there.
Coming in at number 3, KT's Peekaboo makes room for Arrow's safe passage.
Blind face taking as Evelyn is incredibly dangerous.
DBQ and PYL getting aggressive. Flame is back as well.
Camping on the lantern.
In a lot of trouble. PYL gets grabbed. He got it on the lantern. I can't believe it. Actually, I totally can. That's Peekaboo. Arrow looked like he was just out of luck here.
Yeah, at first you're like, PYL is going to get him under the turret. Oh, turret's gone. All right, camping.
No. Oh, man. That is beautiful.
At number 2, the Flash Wolves' NL got everyone excited with his pentakill.
Because then COG would have been able to disengage. They attempted again. These guys are just too tanky.
Karsa, pretty damn big right here, takes a full hit from 3 members of Counter Logic Gaming, and they're right back in. Another unstoppable force, 4-member pop-up, double lift on the outside. They're gonna actually have to look away from him. Stake's gonna take that in a 1v1. Double kill coming in for NL, looking for a triple kill. That's a triple. That's gonna be the quadra. He gets a pentakill. NL, pentakill.
And our number 1 play this week was Fnatic's Huni with the quadra kill.
But at the same time, a fight in the bottom side. Ulti used on Nikita's keeping life. Reckless tries to zone the team out. There's Annie so low, but there come the teleports. Huni has arrived, and holy crap! Everyone's dying in this fight. Reckless goes down. Zatai gets a bunch done, but Huni, the double, the stun, the triple kill, the quadra kill for Huni.